Armory lockers and archives. And again, this is that primary bomb site most teams are going to opt for starting out.
It's the commonplace. You know, we're going to go here. We're going to go here. We've seen a couple times from a few teams. We'll go ventilations first and then armory, but usually it's just a mix-up strategy. It's just this is something different that we can do to try and throw the other guys off balance. We're talking about the LAN events, when we're talking about, you know, the make it or break it, the single elimination. No team's taking that risk. Everyone's going to want to go with what they're most comfortable with, and obviously Rogue, most comfortable with the armory.
Now Slash changing it up a bit here. Is he just looking for a drone, and then possibly going to toss there. You see his first Valkyrie camera tossed inside of that east stairwell. I do want to see, though, what his plan was, if he's going to go back to it here inside of the CCTV room.
It looks like they're going to be setting themselves up for a CCTV room hold. So this is the 75% of the top floor hold that I was discussing earlier, as opposed to the 50% hold, which is a little bit more passive. You've got two mirror windows, one facing towards the west balcony, so that the guys in CCTV don't have to worry about that west balcony at all. The guys in A can handle it. And then you have another mirror window facing towards the hallway, which not only gives you control over the south balcony door, but also gives you control over well, of course, the main hallway, top of east stairs, and a good chunk of office, as you can see with these holes that have been opened up by Fountain. Ooh, this Twitch drone could be detrimental to the Rogue defense if it's able to get open the gas canister that holds that. Oh, it already did!
It looks like that might have already gotten opened up.
He got it with the other Twitch drone earlier in the round. That is huge for BRK. That will allow them so much presence when they're taking on to CCTV, and Rogue might just need to cut their losses and bail on this hole.
Oh, another one. He's going to grab that one as well. One just going ham here with the Twitch drone.
Do not underestimate the value of a Twitch drone opening up a mirror window, ladies and gentlemen. That now means those mirror windows work against Rogue as opposed to for Rogue. That was a great job there by One.
We've often talked about this before with the Latin American scene. They tend to have their mirror windows in, we'll call them, less critical spots, where if they do end up getting taken advantage of or getting removed, that they don't basically thwart an entire defense. But Rogue took that chance, and it right now is not going in their favor.
There's a couple. Whoa, this run out from King George could get some kills, but no!
Uke!
No.
Oh, man, he just couldn't vault in. The C4 was just a little bit too high, forcing him to vault out. But Avian gets the refrag onto him from the locker side.
And it is going to be a refrag from One onto Avian. BRK still on top here. A nice refrag there from Avian, but unfortunately he committed to that CCTV hold. And here we have Nest getting a kill onto Eclipse inside the bomb site. Slash Rogue with the refrag. And it's still BRK in the lead.
Now, with Young and Slash both on the bomb site, not roaming around, they do have the potential to stick it here and hold it down. We do have gas grenades in the hands of Young, which he's able to toss out to stop that east balcony push.
Yeah,
but it looks as though BRK will be moving in from the west balcony and into lockers.
There's no barbed wire on the north entrance to A. He can just waltz on in whenever he needs to. There's neither is there a hole in small office or a mirror window or anything to stop Zig from just kind of waltzing in and challenging directly onto Slash, who's holding a very common angle right now.
Yeah, right now he's just going to get droned out by Julio, and this is going to allow BRK to then get some more information, say, okay, half wall's done. They're going to push coming on in. C4 gets tossed on out, gets down Zig. That's also going to be Diffuser holding. Now a 2-on-2 is going to come. Slash going to pop around here with the pre-fire. One will get this plant down as the gas grenade will not stop it. Moves in forward, good for the shots. Julio has to walk away with about 10 health. Plant goes down, but it is not enough, and BRK comes out on round number 1, loud and clear.
Very close to a recovery there on that round from Rogue, but unfortunately that smoke grenade being just an inch off of a successful will result in BRK securing this first round. Good job to them. I honestly have to say, that pretty much came down to One and his tremendous drone play, getting rid of those mirror windows. If he had been unsuccessful getting rid of both those mirror windows, that would have been a much slower round and a much more costly round for BRK, which means that like once he got into the later ends of that round when it was just BRK pushing into the bomb site, it would have, instead of being the man advantage, they would have been probably at the disadvantage.
I agree with you there, and I mean, BRK did come out on top in that push, and a lot of that had to do, I'll say, with the fact that the gas grenade just didn't get, well,
yeah,
the
the
perfect
gas grenades,
placement for it. I mean, it allowed the plant to still go down. He was able to tuck himself into that corner.
Well, there's a couple things, right? There's the gas grenades. There's the positioning of the smoke in general.
Yep.
There's the lack of any murder holes being opened up in the small office wall. If you're not going to put a mirror window there, you still need to put like some foot-level murder holes so that you can see when someone's entering in and challenge onto them directly. You know, there was a couple mistakes made by Rogue overall on that hold that resulted in the loss. But I think, again, it all started, really, when they lost their mirror windows.
Yep.
And now we are going to have Rogue. They're going on to their first attack. It will be onto, very similarly, the Armory hold from BRK.
Now we are going to see the bucket played here by Eclipse, and what he's doing right now is just going to work his way, clear it out underneath of the west window or west wall to try to open up either any mirror windows or get rid of bandit charge or whatever there may be on that west side.
You know, one of the things about clearing those roamers out from underneath the bomb site is that it's so frustrating, specifically because you have to deal with ventilation room, where, sorry, no, not ventilation room, server room, where you can barely see anyone. If someone's hiding in the shadows of server room, they are almost invisible. So challenging onto that as an attacker is super difficult at times.
And there is going to be Julio, gets the headshot onto Eclipse as he tries to progress underneath of the site.
Oh, no. Yeah,
where was it? Because he had droned it all out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was above. He actually looked through the hole.
So Julio getting that nice kill through the front door. Good job there. Also, by the way, putting down the late mirror window. This is another thing that we see a lot of Latin American teams do, is put those mirror windows down late because they don't really need them in the early game.
Oh, and good kill from Slash.
Oh, but will he get the second one? No.
Not see Ness behind the half wall. Ness going to pick up one, gets taken out on the counter frag by Young, and Julio's going to be inside of that west wall, but it looks as though King George, he's going to be injured, and Young is just waiting for this push out.
This is so dangerous.
There he goes for it, sees him. Yuke says, nope, cannot go for it. Now he's going to pick him on up here.
Oh, no.
Yuke, will you go? No, he won't. He's going to stay there, and King George will get picked back up. A 3-on-3 now.
It's even man count, but the important thing here is that Rogue still does not have control of CCTV, at least not yet, and they're losing so much time here on this round, only having taken control over the west balcony, which is a challenge by itself. Sure, and a great accomplishment by them, but it's still not enough to win the round overall. 43 seconds left to go. They're going to open up that west balcony mirror window, and now they can challenge directly onto A.
They will need to get in and get that plant down, though, and the door's not opened up. That hole is not large enough to actually vault through. Avian, however, will make advantage and take down one as Julio gets down the counter frag onto Young. Now, King George knows that one is behind the half wall. Actually, no, looks like
oh, what a flank.
Flank from behind. Yuke's going to be here. They're both looking at it. King George picks up the kill. No, he doesn't. Yuke grabs one there onto King George. What an instant kill there. Wonderful job. Now the plant's going to try to come down as Avian's moving on in to the B side.
Oh, no.
Walton misses. There's the shotgun kill, and good night. BRK takes round number 2.
That almost went so bad for BRK. And a nice attempt at a clutch from Rogue, but I have to be honest, Avian with a slight misplay there, trying to go for the defuse plant instead of just refragging King. You're dealing with a smoke. He's only got so many bullets in that SMG-11 pile onto him. Unfortunately, though, that is going to be, fortunately for Rogue, that is going to be 2 rounds in a row for BRK, and it's looking good for them so far. Now, in that last round, I think, honestly, it just came down to BRK really stalling up the Rogue push on CCTV, which is counter to what happened with Rogue holding. Rogue basically lost CCTV for free.
I agree with you there. They lost it, and they also, like, once you did have the frags going back and forth, Ness was taken down after Slash was removed, that back and forth scatter, basically, the CCTV room was open for the taking. They didn't put many men inside. They didn't do much with it other than just watch the flank.
That's another thing is you saw how both of the on the note of CCTV room towards the end there, you saw how both of the attackers for a moment were staring at smoke. That's because there was almost certainly a drone in CCTV. The call was coming out that Yuke was on the flank. They were conscious of it, and yet at the same time, they did not challenge directly onto them. They waited too much, and that waiting caused them to, well, caused them to lose the round, to be honest. They should have challenged onto him, 2v1'd, and refragged each other. And that's it. I think you could honestly attribute that a little bit to maybe some land jitters, maybe not trusting your teammates, and this is counter to what I expect to see from Rogue, because I've talked about this in the past, and I believe this, is Rogue is a team that really trusts each other.
They do.
And that trust is imperative to their success.
I mean, much like Penta. Penta has a very strong coordination, a very strong leadership. When Fabian says something, it gets done.
Right, yeah.
And that's exactly what it is with King George and his squad here.
Fabian's word is the word of law. If you don't listen to Fabian,
where's that coming from?
What is that?
He's gonna rush out there, grabs a couple shots into the side of Julio, but unfortunately, that was not the right call, and he will pay the price for it.
So Rogue right now playing like what we've seen from Latin America in the past, and BRK on the other side playing a little bit more conservatively, and now they're in the man advantage in this round, and that's not looking good for them. Oh, but here's the refrag from King George, avenging both his Mira window and Slash Hug. Good job there. That was absolutely necessary.
Definitely. I mean, that's the buck off the board, which we saw taken out very early on the previous round, and I believe that was
Here comes Nesk. Not going to happen. Eclipse is going to take out Nesk on that run-in. Despite not having the mirror window anymore, he can still hit the shots.
Now, one is out here on the south balcony out by break room. Spots Eclipse, gets it on down. Now, he still has one more. That's King George he's got to go up against. There's a minute 24 left to go, a 3-on-3, and this is going to boil down to the final 60 seconds of the round here momentarily.
Good kill from Avian there onto Zig elsewhere. And this is the contention in CCTV actually happening for Rogue this time. Instead of just losing CCTV outright, they have really heavily invested into it. A lot of teams, what they would do when they lose CCTV hold is just fall off of it, play the bomb site. But in this instance, Rogue reinvested more, and it's working out for them.
I think a part of that is because they left the diffuser up there on the balcony.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
They aren't even going for it. So this is going to turn down to a TDM, basically, as it is a 3-on-2 and 45 seconds to go.
Even if BRK starts to go for the diffuser right this second, they're going to still have to spend at least 20 seconds retrieving it. That leaves them 20 seconds to kill the defenders and get the defuse plant. It's going to come down to, I don't think they can manage it.
They are not. They're going to have to go for the gunfight here. Now, Young is inside of the B site, and there's two on the left side of him here as one pushes on forward. He's going to spot the bandit, but the flick around from Avian, he's going to grab the one shot onto one, and Julio is going to have to get on outside. Unfortunately, with the rappel, he doesn't have much time other than to swing in, jump in, and he will go down.
It's actually impossible for him to win this round.
It's impossible for him to win it. It is possible for Rogue to throw it.
Yeah, that's true.
They just need to hold the angle. 5 seconds to go, and he's just going to save the L85.
Yeah, there it is. A good job there from Avian finishing things out, and that's the first round for Rogue now. Now, yeah, if all of Rogue ran into CCTV all at once and peeked him together and lined up, then it could have been it could have been a clutch. But apart from that, there's no real possibility. But now, third round in. Yeah, see, this is the Rogue what we want to see here. A couple misplays in that round, but despite that, Rogue still managed to pull it out. Slash Hug with that run out onto top of East Stairs via the office window, I think that was too aggressive. Now, I expect to see aggressive plays from Slash, yeah, but they need to make sense. Peeking onto a Thatcher who's at the top of East Stairs with Valkyrie's MPX is, I think, a little too dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, that MPX, I don't necessarily think
you have to get the headshot.
Should be that far of a fight, though. I mean, that was a pretty long-range engagement.
You have to get the headshot because it's a low-damage gun, and you don't have an ACOG, so you're challenging from an arguably a long range in this game, and it's just kind of unnecessary. But I know he'll make up for it. And despite that, Rogue still won the round, so that's what's important. Now, moving on to the next defense from BRK, they are going to be down in the ventilation server room, and they are going to be holding above. So, similar to the armory hold, there are multiple different ways to hold down in ventilation. A couple teams will just play in ventilation alone, or they'll play horizontally towards custom. Most teams will do what we see BRK doing right now, which is extending upstairs to try and maintain that vertical, really deny vertical control to Rogue.
Now we do have Eclipse moving in from the same avenue that he did previously. He got taken out of commission very early on, but it looks as though he's going to be a little different. Slash, however, has already met a lot of combat. He's probably going to fall off the roof here momentarily and get picked back up.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, if you fall off the roof, then you get downed, and then your teammates can pick you up really easily.
There it is. So he will regain consciousness with 50 health instead of the full 100, but it's better than walking away with
more than one. Yeah. Got to get them HPs. So Rogue is going to start moving into the offices as well as the archives. That hole that Eclipse just opened up is going to give them visibility over the top of bathroom, which BRK is extended into at this moment in time. So whenever Rogue chooses to challenge onto that, they will have to contest with a pulse that has a heartbeat sensor.
Now here's some of this team coordination going on with Eclipse and Slash. They know that Nesk is inside of lockers, trying to figure out whether he's behind half wall or whether he's behind the 2 lockers in the middle by the window. Zig, however, will pick up a C4 kill onto Slash. It looked like that might have been from underneath.
Yeah, that's the pulse right there with his heartbeat sensor. Great positioning of his C4. And now BRK got to be feeling confident about this round with their first kill of said round. They also still have control over the armory, and that is huge. At this moment in time, we only have a minute left in the round. Young going to get the first kill for Rogue onto Yuke. That's a great refrag, very important, but again, still vertical control in favor of BRK.
Now it looks like, sounds like we might be having the window inside of the main lobby or main hallway downstairs opened up. That's going to force Zig to relocate himself behind the A site. 50 seconds to go here, and top floor dominance has not been maintained. King George, however, will pick up that headshot onto the prone Julio inside of the A site. That's going to force Zig to rotate on over. Looks like he might go by the bottom of the west stairs and try to relocate himself along here with 1.
An oh so important kill, but a refrag from Nesk onto Eclipse, and then another from King George onto 1, and that fuser has been planted.
Now it's a 2-on-2. Nesk is going to be top floor. Zig downstairs. He's going to come around from the main lobby. Spots Young, but Young picks up the kill as he vaults onto the window. Zig taking that UMP onto King George's face. It's now a 1-on-1. One shot here from Young will take down Zig. He sees it and he gets it, and that's going to be Rogue tying it up on round number 4.
Two rounds in a row for BRK, 2 rounds in a row for Rogue. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a match instead of what we were seeing in the earlier rounds. What a good attack there from Rogue, by the way. Instead of committing to fully taking control over the top floor, which is what we see a lot of teams do these days, they cut their losses, maintain control over archives and offices, use that vertical control to just barely inch themselves into server room, get the defuse plant, and then play off of the defuse.
So here we have it, Rogue going back on defense for round number 5. They're going to situate themselves downstairs inside of the servers and ventilation room, which again is the second favored bomb site typically here for most teams.
Yeah, we haven't seen any serious variation in terms of bomb sites from either of these teams so far today, but they still have plenty of rounds left on border to surprise us. Now, as Rogue sets themselves up, the big question is, how will they hold it? Are they going to, yeah, they're going to be investing in the top floor, same as what we saw BRK do. Are they going to try and hold archives hard, or are they going to just play inside the armory? Now, of course, BRK playing inside the armory, that didn't work out for them too well, because Rogue is a team that I think they were the original team to start doing that half top floor take for ventilation, only take the offices and archives. I think they were the first ones to do that. It was a couple seasons ago, but I think they were at the lead for that. So they are really used to that refined, not commit to an armory and just take what we need. And that's really important too, because it means you're not risking any refrags from the defenders or any losses at all for your team, which is just kind of the safe play when it comes right down to it.
Yeah, and so for Rogue, we will see 3 members, Avian, Slash, and King George, all up in top of the lockers, not necessarily extending themselves into the archives or the office, which is what you were talking about with the half defense top upstairs. You're only having part of the above the bomb site covered.
Yeah, and it's an interesting conundrum. I mean, the thing is that offices is so hard to hold, and once you lose offices, the only way to hold on to archives is to invest tons of utility into it, to the point at which it's not worth. So Rogue playing exclusively inside of Armory stands to reason, but it also opens up the opportunity for BRK to counter that hold in the same way that Rogue did.
Now what we're going to see here from Nesk is after he opens up that wall, he's likely to toss some flashbangs in, try to hop in, be that aggressive Nesk that we have such seen before. It looks as though it's actually pushed him out a little bit.
So yeah, Rogue actually just kind of fell off.
They did find out. Slash, however, is kind of in a half stance, I think. He might be on top of the units here. Is on top of the vent units.
It's a risky position to play, but so useful if the enemies overlook it.
He saw the laser from above look right down onto the top of the locker, so he's waiting to get some more information before he actually goes for a peek here.
This is a dangerous game that we see One and Slash playing.
See him? Oh, he's
no!
thrown. No, he wasn't. One just didn't even see it.
The C4 going to miss from Slashug. Unfortunately, he mispredicted where one was located. He knew the laser sight was there, like he said, but he didn't know exactly where one was playing. And because of that, it is a little bit of utility wasted.
Now, it is going to be a 5-on-5 still. 50 seconds left to go in round number 5. Slash looking up through some of the holes that have been opened up in the floor. One still waiting here. Waiting to see if he's going to be able to get someone down. Yuke's going to push in here from the passport check room. Slashes a couple of bullets there onto Eclipse. Downs him for the count, but doesn't finish him off just yet.
He doesn't necessarily know that he downed Eclipse, as there are no point notifiers in the Pro League rules.
Slash and King George, he's picking up a kill on Avian, and Slash again coming up loud. Yuke, though, grabs a double kill into Avian and Young.
It's a 1v1.
Eclipse is finished. It is a 1-on-1 now. Yuke and Slash going head-to-head as Eclipse is injured, and I don't think he's going to get picked up here. There are 10 seconds left to go. Slash needs to stay right there.
10 seconds to go.
There's the shot. Wonderful job by Slash, getting a very obscure angle as Yuke just has to rush into the site and try to go for the plant.
Got to say, that was the perfect play there from Slashug. If he had played on any predictable angle, he lends himself to the enemy in that if the enemy hits the shot, it doesn't matter where he's holding. He's at the disadvantage because he's the one being peeked on. So putting himself in an odd angle like that no one really expects him to be playing is basically cinch the round. Now we are going to have Rogue for the first time on this map, and well, I guess technically in the series as well, having a round lead at 3-2. And we will have BRK going back onto the defense of the top floor in Armory Archives.
Yeah, in this top floor hold, again, they're like you said, there's basically two ways to hold it. You're either going to hold it from CCTV, which we've seen almost every team do thus far, or you're going to hold it from the fountain and hold on to office.
75% or 50%, you pick one.
What I do find odd, though, is the amount of pressure that we keep seeing put onto CCTV when it's held. Typically, we talk about how difficult it is to pressure it from an attack side, and most teams will just opt to push from the east balcony.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about challenging onto CCTV when you're doing this setup is that, yes, it is very difficult for an attacking team to coordinate well enough to counter this hold, but also it comes down to individual, an early kill from Slashug using the long angle into both of the bomb sites. You can see him shooting through that doorway is going to take out Yuke, as I believe he was putting down some barbed wire. That is an unfortunate start there for BRK, and fortunate for Slashug.
You called it before that, yes, Slash might have missed an opportunity earlier, but he definitely came back with the last round and this early kill this round.
Slash is nuts, man. You know, he's hit or miss, but he hits really hard when he does. And he is going to put himself and his team in a great position here. Yeah, so the thing about the holding in the CCTV is that it takes coordination from the enemy team, the attackers, to take that to deal with that, but it also means that every role that is being executed inside CCTV must be executed perfectly by the defenders. So there's a lot of pressure on both teams. It's just a high-level way of playing, to the point at which, like, if one mistake happens, the team that makes that mistake is going to end up losing that. There's very little chance of recovery.
Now, we do have one who's stationed inside of the office on the other side of the wall from Slash, who's navigating into the Archives Lounge. And will he give away his position? It looks as though that's Young that actually has met his fate by Zig in that UMP there on Pulse.
So Slashug is given away. They know, BRK knows that he's inside the small office, but if he can get a couple frags, it won't matter.
Nope, he's going to get that kill there on the nest. Tries to peek on out. One's looking at the correct way as Slash turns and looks left incorrectly. Picks up that kill on the refrag. Eclipse, however, will finish off the Pulse. That's Zig. A 3-on-2 now is going to unfold here for Rogue as BRK is going to have to deal with Habana, Buck, and Blackbeard.
All this commotion, Slashug inside of the bomb site caused BRK to over-rotate. Because of that over-rotation, now Rogue has full control over CCTV. And they have the ability to push in through this main A wall, and, or most importantly probably, the man advantage.
Now what's going to happen here, you're actually probably going to have someone try to go for the plant. Oh, looks like Julio, though, picks up the kill into Eclipse after a long extension of that peak. Now a 2-on-2 still. Wall's going to get blown open here. Julio trying to get some shots. Thinks that he might have dropped, but says no. King George actually going to expose his side and says,
oh no!
One picks up the kill. Now it's a 2-on-1. Can he get the kill? Avian gets one. He's got to go for the headshot there with the bearing 9 in hand. 30 seconds ago. Turns on over. Looks to his left. Looks to his right, but misses the target. Julio comes up. We're going to see a tie game here. 3-3.
What a great round there from both teams. Honestly, looked like it was going in the favor of Rogue, but a little lack of consolidation. And because of that, Rogue is going to end up losing the round. Now, this is what we saw from them previously. Remember the last time they attacked onto Armory? It was the same thing, just the teamwork not rearing its head. No, seemingly all of the Rogue players going off and doing their own thing, which is counter to what we've seen from them in the past. I mean, during the regular season, they are so coordinated. It's actually crazy. But in this instance, for what we've seen from them, it just seems like a lot of the rounds are kind of one player making something happen as opposed to the team working together.
Yep.
Now, we are going to have Rogue go back upstairs into the Armory, and we'll see how successful they are at holding this. They are going to be going for, yet again, the 75% hold inside of that CCTV. And I think this is probably, for most teams, the preferred method of holding Armory in this current meta.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is because obviously you want to gain more control as much as you can with maintaining a level of safety, and that's what they're doing here. They're able to keep control of that fountain without placing someone in it. They're able to keep control of that office without putting someone in it.
Yeah, an office is notoriously hard to hold. I mean, it's extremely difficult to make that work for you. I mean, we had Rogue used to, in the past, Rogue would stick Slash Hug in the sandwich of office with a shotgun on Valkyrie.
And then what was it? Bittersweet or Excellence came in showing us how to toss a nade in through the top?
The nades existed for a long time, but you know, sometimes not every team knows about it. So, but yeah, it was we had nades come down from the skylight above office and ended up taking him down there. So they had to adjust their strategy, and I think that's what we're seeing right now is just a little bit of a refinement of what they used to do. Although they might still play in Sandwich. Slash Hug still plays around the office side of the building. I think it's his preferred area. Slightly less deep into the Sandwich, although he does have the position to work with, as you can see.
You can see just that little pre-fire tap from Slash onto the window above the atrium. Generally speaking, that is just a time-to-go shot. I mean, you can't necessarily know when someone's going to peek that.
There's no reason not to do it. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're limited for ammo in this game.
First kill, though, on the round. Going to go from Slash onto Zig. Slash is going to retreat back onto site and just say job well done and try to help out his team a little bit more closer to the bomb site.
That's a very good start for Slash Hug. That's the aggressive play that, you know, it can work sometimes, it can not other times, and here's an example where it does certainly work. Great run out there by him. And now the most important thing here is that BRK is losing so much time on this take. Not only do they have the man disadvantage, but also they still haven't taken control of CCTV. And that's the most important factor. And as I say that, Rogue is going to fall outside of CCTV back into the bomb site as they see, look, it's only a minute left in the round. We don't need to hold this. And still, BRK is tripping about it.
Yeah, because they spotted out 2 or 3 members inside of CCTV, but they only saw King George leave the site. So what that means is that they're going to be wasting utility. They're going to be wasting time until they realize it's all clear, which Nesk is doing right now. That was about a 15-second delay, which is very good and necessary if Rogue wants to get this victory.
15 seconds and 3 flashbangs.
We do have Avian behind the half wall right now. He's going to wait to hear a push on inside as one is also moving in here from the CCTV room along with Nesk.
So this push, since Rogue isn't very overextended and they're not losing any men early on into this round, this push is going to come down to refrags for Rogue. If they can refrag each other continuously, they will win the round outright.
Now this is happening again where the wall is not opened up, but it is still soft. King George, however, uses that vector to take down Nesk, who's pushing in all alone. Now the drone, unfortunately, did not spot Avian behind the half wall. Eclipse coming in from the east stairwell, taps the kill there onto one, and Julio will get the refrag with a headshot of the L85 onto King George. Avian will also get removed from play by Yuke, and now we have a 3-on-1 as Julio is the last man standing. He comes up from the middle staircase. That's West. Young already hears it, goes for the shots and gets the kill. Rogue takes round 7 with authority, and that's going to be a 4-3 lead for them. They're on to match point.
A clean round from Rogue, certainly. Very calculated play. Able to successfully hold the CCTV, finally. And then after that successful hold in CCTV, they're like, oh, we don't need to maintain this. Because they didn't. They didn't need to maintain it. Plus, they lost the West Balcony mirror window, and that's dangerous. So instead of trying to hold inside a CCTV for an extended period and lock out the round that way, they consolidated, came back to their own bomb site, and just played the numbers game, waited patiently, and it worked out great for them. Now, BRK are going to be going on to defense, and they will be in the ventilation room.
And we are going to see the Echo get chosen here, which was chosen previously, and I believe it actually did disorient one or two members before it got taken out.
Yeah, Rogues had a good run on attacking onto Ventilation, though. Last time they attacked onto Ventilation for BRK, they were successful. It was very close. But it came down to a Rogue attacking into the office, taking control over archives, opening up the vertical holes above the bathroom, and the kind of like part of A. You see like where he zoomed in right now, pretty much this general area. And once they have vertical control over this area, then they started to push in for a safe diffuser plant without exposing themselves. And all of the roamers from BRK were just inside of the armory, which doesn't have any influence over offices, and because of that, Rogue was extremely safe on their attack.
Agree with you there, and now we are going to have Rogue again. Plenty of time to get things unfolding. They're just getting into the building now as they begin their onslaught. We are going to see Julia, though. I think he's tucked around inside of the bathroom, and Slash is just holding this down. His job right now is to make sure they do not rotate back and forth. Slash knows that someone's got to be tucked around, and so he's just going to hold it.
Great thing about Ash is she can get in and establish these angles very quickly into the round. So if Zig ever gets curious and moves in with his teammate Julio, to try and hold the bathroom, then he is going to end up, or Slash Ups are going to end up cutting off that rotation and getting the kill.
So what's likely going to happen is I would assume they're going to bring their Buck, which is Eclipse, up to the top floor, open up.
Oh no, Julio made it!
Slash must have pulled away at the wrong time there.
Yeah, just some bad timing there, unfortunately, from Slashug. And as a result, no man advantage for Rogue. That's extremely important. That might be what actually allows BRK to get this overtime.
Now that member was not pinned down anymore, we are still going to see this go into a 5-on-5. Eclipse going to finish out droning out of archives, realizing, okay, drop hatch is open, there's a pulse underneath, got to be very careful. Spotted the yokai as well, which is actually a big piece of information. Where did that yokai just go? Somewhere inside of the servers.
Challenging onto the pulse, Eclipse will get the kill as Slashug moves his way into the B-bomb site. This is very dangerous, but also could be what wins them the round.
Grabs one, can he grab another? He doesn't see Julia, though, on top of the desk. And fortunately for BRK, that will only be a 1 frag instead of what could have been a double by Slash.
But they're still going to get the diffuser plant.
There he goes. He sees him there. That's going to be a double, a triple kill from Slash, and Eclipse to sweep up the round. Rogue going to take this to a 5-3 victory on map number 1.
What a round from Slashug, and what a map from Rogue. You can see Slash very happy with himself there, and rightfully so, as that was a clean execution. And I have to say, every time the spectator switched to Slashug, I was surprised by his positioning. I was a little like, whoa, how did he get there? Like, what did Slashug do to find himself inside of the bomb site almost every round on attack?
So we talked about, okay, if Slash has 1 bad round, he comes back with 5 great rounds, and that's what you're seeing here. Top of the leaderboard with 12 kills.
Yeah, he basically, he outkilled everybody in this match. I think the next closest was 8 kills, also on Rogue. So a great round, or a great match there by Slashug.
Now here we are going to get into the highlights here. Again, Rogue took the map 5-3.
A little bit of a mistake there from King George. Looked the wrong way.
Looked the wrong way. Also couldn't get back in. And
yeah, unfortunate.
But there it is, Slash. Again, he keeps on coming back and doing wonderful things here.
Ashug. Such a great Ashug. And now this was his great clutch. A little bit of a mistake there, right above Avian, but he still managed to cinch out the round, and that's the important part.
Yeah, so that was the one mistake that we saw Slash make, but he comes on back from it. And
keynote 1 mistake. He managed to make it work for himself throughout the rest of the match.
But we talk about Slash a lot, but all of the members on Rogue definitely contributed to this victory. We saw Avian pick off a good kill. We saw King George with the Blackbeard plays outstanding. And even Samira plays. And to me, this is what we've been expecting from Rogue, and we've been wanting to see them in this LAN event.
Absolutely. Yeah, this was... early on into the... So early into the map, it was looking like Rogue was getting tripped up with BRK. But I'm going to be honest. I remember playing... I remember playing with a lot of these guys on Rogue way back in the earlier days, and they are the sort of guys that are very analytical. It takes them a while to get used to their opponent. And it took them a couple rounds to figure out how to play against BRK. Once they figured it out, as you can clearly see at the scoreline, they managed to get quite a lot of rounds in a row, I have to be honest.
Now, what I do like here is you do have BRK Esports getting in a huddle and trying to figure out what went wrong, how to prepare for this next game on Oregon. You saw their coach in the middle. There were 6 of them there. That is what you need. You need someone that can get you out of a negative mindset, get you fresh, get you prepared for the next game at hand. Because you cannot go into it thinking, we lost the last match, how are we going to come back from it? You just need to say, we need to get this map.
Oh, BRK has easily got what it takes to come back after their loss on Border. I mean, going on to their next map, it's definitely going to be a situation where, sure, yeah, they have to keep themselves in the right mindset, but all that aside, they've got the skill, they've got the strategy, they've got the adaptation, they've got everything they need. They just got to use it.
And it looks as though the teams are funneling in here, so we'll get started in a few moments. But before that, let's talk about our map, Oregon. There are 4 bomb sites on the map, 2 of which are primary, in which you've got your top floor bomb site inside of the kids' dorms. You also have the basement bomb site inside of the laundry and stock closet.
Right.
The other 2 bomb sites have not seen as much play, but we have seen them throughout this season.
Kitchen is a possibility. So is Tower. I think Tower's a little overplayed as opposed to Kitchen. Kitchen's probably more viable in my opinion, but to be honest, they are really way more exposed than the other 2 bomb sites. And ladies and gentlemen, we are very soon here going to be getting on to Oregon, map number 2 of this best of 3. And like we talked about here, the bomb sites available to you. Top floor is I'd say probably the more common one as opposed to the basement. Then you have here the basement, which is either the secondary or your primary, depending on what your team prefers. Tower and Kitchen, viable, but not really. I mean, the thing is like they're okay. You can make them work.
Yes.
But why would you when you?
They're pocket strats, not core meta strats.
Exactly. No, that's the best way to describe it. You can, but you don't need to. Now we are going to have a mute going down in the underneath the main lobby drop down. This actually doesn't. I don't think that actually does. You can get by that with a Hibana charge. I'm pretty sure, but you know, might trip up BRK a little bit. Maybe waste 1 or 2 Hibanas.
Yeah, I mean, if it forces you to use extra or at least waste time because we'll call it, you weren't careful with your Hibana charge placements.
Right, exactly.
Then that's where you're going to waste 2, and it's just going to go in your favor.
See, that's another thing that's really big is if that mute jammer gets 1 Hibana, then there's 1 drop down that's not going to get opened up.
If you weren't going to bring Thermite as well. They have brought Thermite,
they
could
Thermite.
use it if they needed to, but basically if you're going to bring the Hibana and Thermite combo together, typically that means Thermite's going to come in from blue, right?
I'm guessing what they want to do with their destructibility options here is they have to use one of the Hibanas on the main drop. Well, actually they don't have to. They can use the Thermite too, but it's much safer because you're so exposed when you're pushing into that main lobby when you don't have the drop actually open. So use one of the Hibanas on that main drop down, then use the 2 Thermites inside of the meeting hall where you see Eclipse playing right now. After that, you can use those last 2 Hibana charges to try and get this mirror window that Young is playing behind right this minute. Because this mirror window, for those of you who don't know, is probably the most crucial position in the entire basement hold. It used to be every team preferred upstairs in the top floor as opposed to basement before mirror was introduced because it's really difficult to deny a plant just somebody walking down the stairs and planting the diffuser right in front of you guys with some smoke cover. Now with the mirror windows, that information gathering that the enemy can't really stop without a Twitch drone or a Hibana is super important.
Now Eclipse is going to get droned out here and still continue to lay some pressure from the meeting hall. Nesk, however, will be inside of the kitchen trying to lay his own set of pressures.
Yeah, so BRK has taken care of the roamers on the west side, which is very common. Once you cut off the west side, it's pretty much impossible for the defenders to get back to it. And they've also seemingly forced Rogue all the way entirely down in the basement. No one from Rogue is inside of Meeting Hall, even though BRK doesn't know that yet. They are playing aggressively on the tower stairs, and they might get some late roams out, but this is a big risk.
Big risk. They're both moving up there to the second floor. Looks as though they might try to open this up some if Slash is going to toss the C4 out, or they're just going to run across. They are going to run across. They have 2-3 speeds, and here's what's going to happen. They're going to go for the bait here. No, they're going to run out the right side. He's going to cover from the left side.
Oh, this would be awesome if they did.
There's going to be a rush on out here. We'll have to see how that unfolds. It's actually going to force Eclipse over. He will get detected. But now, as you said, you're going to be back over to the west side, but Nesk is there for the frag.
but he's going to get refragged by a nice flank from
Nice
Slash.
Picks up a double kill. King George gets another one in return, and one will take out Slash, and King George gets another shotgun kill here on the stairs. That's a shotgun from Mute.
Eclipse was straight up bait because of Eclipse running over to Cafeteria. It caught BRK off guard, but the repositioning resulted in Rogue being able to come straight up through the lobby stairs, come straight in through Meeting Hall, and just, well, I guess BRK wasn't expecting it. A great coordinated push there by Rogue, and honestly, that's one of the most unique strats I've seen in a long time.
That is the King Slash round right there. You had Slash picking up 2K and King George with 3, but as you talked about, that little bait and switch, if you will.
Yeah, it was
tremendous.
Beautiful bait and switch. Beautiful strategy there by Rogue, and I 100% guarantee you are going to see some things like that moving forward in the Pro League. That's the sort of thing, those strats right there are the sort of thing that actually defines the meta, that causes the meta to evolve and change. So I look forward to what other teams are going to be bringing along those lines.
I also like the first thing they were trying to set up there of running on the right side of the rooftop and covering from the left side.
They could have done that, yeah. That's a good idea too, because if there's nobody playing upstairs, then while you cover from the left side, the attackers are going to push up through the stairs. They're going to be caught off guard as you're sitting in tower covering your teammate. Although, you know, it's also direct challenge. I mean, you imagine doing it all at once, right? you run all the way over to Cafeteria, then you do the run across on the right side, cover from the left side, then you also run up from the main stairs. That would be incredible.
Now you're just talking tricky.
Yeah, it would be very difficult, but it would also be incredible if it worked. Overall, a great first round there from Rogue, and now they put themselves in a lead. Well, it's a very small lead, but still a lead as they go into the attack of BRK's defense of the basement.
And again, this is map number 2 in this series, guys. Rogue had taken map number 1 on border.
Kind of decisively, I have to say. So the main lobby drop, not reinforced. I know what you guys are thinking, oh, why don't you reinforce the main lobby drop? Well, you don't need to be honest.
It's going to get open.
It's going to, yeah. The attack, if they want to go through the main lobby, I guarantee you they are going to get the main lobby open, or you're going to do something like what we just saw Rogue do in order to deny it by denying them access to lobby, which is very difficult.
There it is. Now Eclipse knows one member, that's going to be the Jaeger, tucked away inside of the kids' dorms, and he hasn't escaped yet. So he's going to be inside, and now we're going to see Eclipse try to go for this push. Slash, however, will pick up that first kill into Nesk, and as we talked about earlier, Nesk either stays alive and gets kills and finishes the round, or he dies very early on, and this is going to be one of those rounds where he dies early on.
Yeah, this Jaeger's just trying to waste as much time as possible, but danger is encroaching, and I don't think he's going to live for much longer.
Nope, there it is. Shot's going through. Avian didn't see him rotate over to the drop hatch, and Yuke actually managing to get that kill into Slash as he rotates over to the meeting hall.
Yuke slipped through the cracks there a little bit, and because of that, he might actually salvage this round for his team.
What a tight angle there. Yuke's going to hold for the rest of the round. A minute 15 to go, a 4-on-4. And we are going to see a push down the main stairwell.
Rogue still has to contend with the mirror window inside of small closet, and this is very dangerous since they don't have anything to deal with it yet. Oh, they just lost their Hibana.
They did.
They can't hit the mirror window.
Picked up the kill as Avian moved on over to the meeting hall. Eclipse, though, gets that frag grenade onto one and gets another kill into Yuke, trying to come around for the flank. However, as Young tries to move on over to the laundry machine, gas grenade and C4 will finish him off.
Attackers recovered the defuse.
The C4, not gas grenade. He's been downed earlier on, but 2-on-2 still remains. 45 seconds to go. Zig goes for the kill there into King George, but misses the target. However, he did down him with the C4. Zig comes in strong with the final kill there onto Eclipse, and there's that C4 kill from Julio.
What a great hold there by BRK, and I honestly have to say it comes down to Yuke's successful roam against all odds. It certainly looked like we were going to have Rogue deal with the Jaeger without any serious problems. Maybe lose a player, but not allow him to escape. And because he escaped, because he successfully got the kill onto Slashug, and then later I think it was Eclipse. Avian, thank you. Because he got those 2 kills, that was so very crucial to the hold overall. Rogue lost a lot of manpower on their straight push into the bomb site. Now Rogue, they are going to be defending the top floor, and it has been entire defender paradise so far down in the basement for both teams. So we'll see if that's going to continue when we see the upstairs defended. Now, to be honest, usually the results are pretty similar. If a team can successfully defend on the basement of Oregon, it usually, for what I've seen in the Pro League, it's pretty much reflected in the top floor. However, you know, anything could happen here at this level of play in the finals. So this hole that Young is opening up into the main hallway downstairs is actually, well, it's a common hole, but it actually catches a surprising amount of attackers off guard. It tends to get a couple kills, and if it doesn't, it still instills a bit of like, you have to stare at this. You have to think about this hole constantly as an attacker. And it definitely hurts your positioning as well.
So here we go. The attack round has begun for round number 3. And Uke looking like he's going to come up this west rooftop of the bus yard onto the rooftop between the small white tower and the big windows of A.
So it seems like it's going to be a west side take for BRK. We've seen these a couple of different times. I mean, they're a little bit spread out right now. They could go anywhere, to be honest. They could go for Armory. They could go for west side lower. They could try to clear out the roamers below. But you know, they have all the options. It seems like they actually are shaping up for an Armory take.
Yeah, the west side take we haven't seen overly effective.
It's really not, isn't it? Like, we see so many teams bring it to the field, but it almost never works. Mm-hmm. Specifically, what we're talking about here is taking from the west side underneath the bomb site and trying to use the vertical presence up, but it just doesn't tend to work for the attackers.
Now, King George is going to be stationed here in the top of the red tower. You heard him just open up the window. Right now, he's not having any pressure onto him, but the attack is also not coming from that avenue, so it's not necessarily going to be overly effective to have the defender there.
And here's that old-style Armory master bedroom take, opening up the master bedroom closet into generator. That is going to be where they where BRK attempts to get the defuse plant inside of generator, that small little room outside the closet. But it's very risky because Rogue has plenty of opportunity to deny that plant.
Now with the barbed wire gone and Nesk with 3 flashbangs, what I anticipate happening is him tossing him over far here by Slash and possibly just trying to move in forward towards the middle dorms. Now Uke is still going to be outside of the big window of A. Young holding on to the push in from the middle dorms, from the master bedroom.
Zig just took a lot of damage from that smoke grenade.
Uke still outside here. Slash looking for the shots. He's going to miss it. Uke comes out on top. Young also going to go for a peek here, but that's towards the middle dorms, and he will also fall to Julio. Ness going to be inside of the middle corridor now. Still a 3-on-5, 40 seconds to go. But Rogue is now following apart as Eclipse has been taken out of commission by Zig. C4 comes through, grabs one, but Uke picks up the refrag. C4 from underneath and misses. King George now a 1-on-4 scenario with the Vector in hand. Shots coming from behind. One will tag it down from outside far in the corner of the yard.
You can see there, King George couldn't even see Young. No visual at all. And that was, I have to say, an extremely well-coordinated master bedroom take. Extremely well-coordinated. They had all of their bases covered. Good props to BRK there on that attack. Often the problem with a master bedroom Armory take is that you won't cover your flanks. You won't have somebody on the west window that can successfully get frags. You won't have somebody downstairs outside the main door who can cover the flank from the main stairs. And because of that, a team will leave one of those holes open and they will get flanked, or they will allow the defenders to maneuver right in front of west main window. But BRK had all their bases covered. They got a very simple push into the master bedroom or master closet, into the generator. It was all very, it was all cut and dry. It was in their hands the entire time. Rogue didn't really prop up anything to stop any of it.
Yeah, and I think one of the things to note with BRK Esports on that last round was, yes, the coordination, the teamwork, the strategy was there, but specific little things, such as one, being outside not by the predetermined or pre-fired spot of the van and the windows, but being out in the corner where it's very dark and very hard to see you. Little things like that can mean the difference between winning and losing a round.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Yeah, I mean, we all know King George, if he had not gotten taken out by one. Oh no, a very early kill there from Eclipse onto Nesk. That went the opposite way of what Nesk was hoping for, and that's a good start for Rogue. But as I was trying to say, yeah, if King George hadn't been taken out from behind by one there, we all know he could have clutched that up.
He could have. He had the potential.
He's the type of player who's going to win in that situation if you let him. But as Rogue pushes in from the bottom west side, this is the attack that we talked about earlier that we've seen a lot, like a lot. It's a super common attack strategy in every region, really, but it almost never works. And I mean, if there's a team that's going to pull it off, Rogue is definitely that team. I think I'd say it's probably about 1 in 5 successful on these attacks.
Yeah, it does have a very low win percentage, but again, like you said, BRK going to try to go, or sorry, Rogue going to try to go for this and see if it works out for them.
What it really comes down to is this attack will be successful if the roamers from BRK expose themselves, try to take the fights, and lose them. If Rogue can establish the man advantage, then they will win this round.
Now, you saw what Yuke just did. He kind of juked on over, got into the hallway, exposed, but now he's at the top of the stairs prone. And right now, Eclipse is the one that's supposed to be looking at this. He doesn't know it, and he has 1 frag grenade left. So if he...
That's going to catch
it. If he makes the assumption, if he guesses correctly, he could toss a frag grenade up there to the top of the stairs. But it looks like he's going to try to come on up here. And if Yuke stands still, no, he's not. He's going to try to challenge his Eclipse.
Oh, no.
And that's going to force Yuke out of there for the time being. Nade's going to come on out. There it goes. And now he's going to rush up and try to go for this kill here momentarily.
A little bit of a waste of a position there. That's unfortunate. Zig is still on the very, very deep roam, all the way in the basement, nowhere near the bomb sites, and Slash is going to be the one to receive this. Yeah,
but he's actually looking the wrong way. He's looking for the top 4 push as Zig comes from underneath. You still got a 5-on-4, now 45 seconds to go, and Slash, he's not covering his rear like he needs to. He's wasting too much time and is just full focus tunnel visioned on this meeting, or on the top of the attic here.
Yeah, Zig is encroaching on Slash's rear, but Slash is going to get a kill, so at least he's done something.
Oh no! Tagged. That's going to give him away, and now Slash is looking around, but that's a swap back and forth. One picks up the kill as Zig gets King George down. And what was a 5-on-4 is now a 3-on-3 with 20 seconds to go. We are going to need Rogue to push in here with Avian, Eclipse, and Young. However, the C4 from Julio takes down Avian. Eclipse moves in and misses his target. Julio picks up another kill as Young gets the counter frag. Now a 2-on-1. You are going to have one try to push in along with Zig. These are the last 2 members here. 5 seconds to go. Plant has to go down. Now that's going to go into overtime or over seconds here for 2 seconds as he gets the plant down successfully. Moves on forward. Grabs one. Can he grab the other? He didn't see the shoulder. Look to the left and he misses it.
He hears it though.
He hears it. Goes.
Oh,
Young with a 2v1 clutch. That's going to be round number 4 in the bag here for Rogue.
What a clutch by Young. That round almost seemed like it was going to go in Rogue's favor anyway, because Julio was the last person on the bomb site. The other 2 defenders were stuck all the way over on the other end of the map. And if the attackers, if Rogue had been able to just take care of Julio without losing more than 1 person, it would have been pretty simple for them to hold that. But because of Julio's excellent play, it all put it on Young's shoulders, and he prevailed. An excellent clutch there. And now Rogue putting themselves on an even round point here in Oregon. BRK, they are going to be going on to attack, and Rogue will be defending this top floor. That was a back and forth round. You know, at the start it looked like it was Rogue's round. Then the comeback from BRK, getting those refrags. The guys pushing in from tower and on the basically just the entire east side of the map. They managed to get those refrags, and then it seemed like BRK was going to come back. But because BRK spent so much time on the east side and didn't rotate back into the bomb sites when they really needed to, it pretty much cost them a round. Just simple as that.
Yeah, it was poor placement when it came down to that 2v1 because they both had to come through that corridor.
Yeah.
And after the bomb got, or after the diffuser got planted, it was a matter of, okay, let's look down that main corridor, pre-fire it, get the kill. And unfortunately, it just did not go in favor of BRK.
Yeah.
So with that, we are now going to get underway with round number 5. It is tied 2-2 here on map number 2.
Now remember, Rogue are the ones that won the first map, which means the pressure's really on BRK here to push themselves into a winning position. They want to obviously get to the 3rd one, at least give themselves that much of a chance, but you know, this has been a very back and forth map, so it is easily anyone's. Slash Rogue playing this a very aggressive position on the west main window. He had to have discussed this with his team, so there's got to be a rhyme and reason to it, but to me it just seems a little bit aggressive, too aggressive, to be honest. Like, you're very exposed to that west window when you're so pushed up like that. And here we go, the west window being opened up, and Slashog is standing right next to it.
I wasn't sure if he was actually...
Did I say aggressive?
Yeah. Missed his target. He's going to rush on out here, see if he can tag a kill or 2. He goes for it, but he misses. He actually downed him. But unfortunately, that's not gonna be the kill.
Oh, he's the run out.
Eclipse comes on out, he grabs one, he gets finished as well. This is some aggressive play here, back and forth, back and forth. It's gonna be a 4-on-3 now. Still over half the round to go. I'll tell you, Rogue is not letting up here. Even if it doesn't go in their favor sometimes, they keep the pressure going.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they're going to be coming away from that engagement with a deficiency, and that's really not what they were aiming for. I honestly thought that we were going to see Eclipse get a double kill there on the person who was down and the person who was picking him up, but it's truly unfortunate he didn't. He kind of hit those bars a little bit too much.
Well, which is that mirror window inside of the attic will get opened up. King George now will not be able to use that as effectively as he wanted to, but he's still going to stay there for the time being.
So King George is effectively nullified as that mirror window has been opened up. He can stay alive in the attic, but he can't do much else. And because of that, it is almost boiled down to a 2v4 now.
Now, Ness getting his drone in position is telling Yuke, keep an eye on that, watch my flank, let me know if he drops. If he doesn't, awesome. We know he's in attic. If he does drop, I'll get the frag.
Yeah, that's the great thing about having teammates who can communicate when they're dead is they can just hop on your cameras, your drones, what have you. Tons of information gathering potential. You're not really out of this out of the round until the round's over.
Now, you know Julio and Zig are both very cautious of the player inside of the attic. They don't necessarily know it's King George just yet, but they do realize that because the mirror window's there, someone has to be inside there. Oh, a wonderful job by Nesk using the delayed breaching powers of Ash to force Young out of position, moves into the top of those stairs. C4 comes and answers in return, blows him back a couple notches, and Julio gets that frag on to King George who they've been waiting for. Avian picking up the refrag counter, and it looks as though BRK will win round number 5 with a kill from Zig onto Avian.
Great job there by BRK, but I have to be honest, kind of seems like Rogue handed it to them with those runouts, just unfortunately for Rogue unsuccessful. Now, they could have easily gone into their favor, and you have to understand, those runouts from Rogue were not just runouts. That was a calculated decision made by Rogue, something that they actually thought about. Because if you remember, BRK, when they attacked in through the master bedroom into Generator, it was very, very systematic, and it was a great, well-executed attack that turned out to be successful for BRK. So Rogue knew where the attack was coming from, and they needed a response to it. They needed an answer to that systematic take that was so successful from BRK. Their answer, runouts. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them, but it could have very easily if they were just a slightly hit one more bullet and it would have been at least an even trade.
Yeah, and talking about the level of trust and communication that both of these teams have with Rogue, if you say it, it's going to get done, and that's probably what happened with Slash. Slash says, look, I downed one. All he probably said was hop out, get the kill.
Yeah.
Or go. He probably just said go. And that meant Eclipse just jump out.
Yeah.
Eclipse was able to pick up one, and like you said, he was unfortunate. He didn't get the second kill, but it's that sense of trust that Rogue is bringing here to this LAN event today.
The majority of teams in that situation would have just been like, Slash, dude, really? And then they would have just left it to be a 5v4. But no, Eclipse, like you said, trusted his teammate and went for it. And, you know, honestly, I feel like it was better bringing it to a 4v3 instead of leaving it at a 5v4.
Yep. No, I agree with that full-heartedly, because what we tend to have is then you start getting the defenders, especially what attacker did you take out of commission? What attacker did you get? It could have been that sort of, we can give up this defender to get this attacker.
Yeah. But we are going to have Rogue attacking onto the basement, or taking from the west side. And again, this is very smart. Once you take the west side, it's pretty much yours, so you can deny any roam. Oh. Ness going to get a kill onto Slashrock. Actually, in fact, that's Yuke from above. 2 barrels, or two guns is better than one, yeah. So it kind of looked like it was actually going to be Slashrock winning that fight, but because Yuke is there to support his teammate, no sir. Ness is still pretty lit, though. And yeah, the next step here for Rogue is just pressure onto the meeting hall. Force these roamers down.
Nesk actually went downstairs to get revived, but instead of pulling out the pistol or tossing him with C4, they shot him in the foot with an ump. And I tell you, that does about 30 damage or so.
Yeah, that was a mistake. You need to use either a wall, which will guarantee you down, or a pistol, which won't necessarily guarantee you down, but usually it's better than an ump. I mean, well, it depends on which pistol is using, of course, in this instance.
Yeah, I killed a hostage once with a revolver.
So Yuke is trapped in the deep side of attic. Avian holding him here, and he's going to actually challenge, get down, but Avian doesn't know that. He doesn't know that he downed Yuke. There's no way for him to tell.
Get bled out here. Young going for the plant right behind as the smoke has been killed off. C4 misses its target.
That is huge that the C4 missed.
And looks like Zig Gets a triple kill onto Eclipse, Young, and King George. Last man alive is going to be Avian. He's now looking through the drop hatch above, I think it is. Yes, he is. He's still holding on here, waiting for Julio to peek on up the stairs. And this, unfortunately, in the hands of Avian. Sees him, misses the target. BRK comes out on top. They are now on match point. 4-2.
I wish I could have seen that. I wish so bad I could have seen that. But Zig, regardless, you are insane. What a great 3-dome there by him to put. He basically revived that round for his team just by himself. The C4 missed. The diffuser was planted. Rogue had the man advantage. It was Rogue's round. But because of Zig's excellent gunplay, it completely got stolen away. Now we are on match point, ladies and gentlemen. BRK putting themselves there. And it is going to be BRK going on to the attack of Rogue's defense. I believe, I think that was in the basement. Yes, indeed. We are going to be going down into the basement.
So again, this is map number 2. And Rogue won the first one, so if BRK can secure this round, we will go on to the third and final map, which is going to be Chalet.
Chalet, a map that I would say arguably favors Rogue, but honestly, I feel like BRK, with the showing that they've given us here today, I think they're going to be able to adapt to Rogue's play on Chalet.
I agree. I mean, we haven't seen much Chalet play in the Latin American scene this season.
It's not a very, I don't think it's a map that they tend to favor.
I don't think so either, but I also feel like BRK is kind of sweeping that under the rug and saying, we'll pull this out when we need to.
I mean, BRK has played it in this season. You know, they've got the experience on Chalet, but I think it was just once. So, I mean, it's a lesser played map. So, very cautious of the spawn peaks here. BRK progressing their way up onto the main building. It looks, by the spawns alone, to be a west side clear. Deny those roamers on the west side, obviously. Start with that, then pushing in to the main lobby drop down. So it's going to be similar to what we saw Rogue do in the previous round.
I like the versatility that Rogue is going with their operators. We've seen King George on Mira, now we're seeing Avian. And typically, if you have a Mira player, that Mira player is the same Mira player. By able to change it up, that Mira is played in a different style.
You know, I talked to I talked to all of the teams except for I believe Font before this these matchups started earlier in the week, and the main mantra of every single one of them is flexibility, versatility, and doing whatever the team needs. So changing your operator, changing your role, changing the strategy is what everyone's going for in this current meta right now. And you know, being able to play a different operator is paramount to being on this level, playing at this level. Really, that's it. That's all it comes down to. If you're stuck on the same operators over and over again, you have to be the best at those in order to maintain yourself on one of these pro teams.
But even so, if you stay on the same operator, like we've seen, we'll call them other teams do in the past that are no longer here.
Right.
You start getting into a groove. You start getting into a pattern.
No, of course.
That's when people pick it up, and that's when you stop winning.
Well, that's why I was saying, yeah, the predictability is a big factor. But honestly, I think in the end, it just comes down to, hey, what does your team need right now? What does your team need to make to win this round? Taking the selfishness out of it.
Now Slash is still going to be in the meeting hall calling out, but he sees upstairs. Eclipse.
Oh, the timing! No!
Eclipse going to get out of there just in time as one looks away, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an opportunity missed there by one. But, and also by Nesquez, it seems he was too late to cut off the rotation down into tower, and as a result, Rogue will fully retreat down into the basement. This is huge. With 49 seconds left to go, we still don't have much progress made by BRK, nor do we have a man advantage.
Yeah, and you can see Eclipse just trying to bandit swap the mirror window here. This is honestly a little weird of a placement. Normally you see the standing mirror window, not necessarily a crouched one.
I mean, either works, right? Still getting the same information.
Oh, a quick grenade comes on in, but the gas grenade does go out. That's going to stop it for the next 5 seconds. A double frag grenade by Yuke! Picks up one, picks up two, and now that's going to mean a 4-on-3, 3-on-3 with Avian and Slash, trying to get man count back to even. Now the plant does go down, but what we have right now is going to be a 3-on-3 slaughter. Julio's going to be back by kitchen corridor. You now have one over inside of the classroom, and even further above, I believe, is going to be Yuke.
BRK has every advantage here, and they are going to get the kill onto King George.
And there's going to be one. He sees Slash inside of the cubby, goes for it, but misses. Wonderful refrag by Slash. They have to go out and up the stairs. C4 comes on out, misses the target. Now Avian should be the one covering as Slash goes for the shots. Looks on up, but not up enough. Uke picks up the kill, and Slash unfortunately will not get this in time. And we are going to have BRK secure map number 2. We're headed to the 3rd and final map of this best of 3 series onto Chalet.
What a great round there by BRK, but I have to say, most importantly, those grenades into the closet by Uke, that single-handedly dealt with the entire strategy from Rogue to deny the defuse plant. Then, once the defuse plant was down, it didn't matter that BRK lost 2 people that were actually getting the defuse plant themselves, because all they had to do was hold it from above. It's a very simple process.
Now, it's worth noting that this was their pick, if I remember correctly. I believe we had Border chosen by Rogue. And so this is kind of what we talked about earlier. We see them back in this huddle again. Their coach, their player, their IGL is going through and saying, look, we lost the first map. We had a very dominant appearance on the second map. Let's keep this going and show them what the Latin American scene can bring here.
Their coach's name, actually, funnily enough, is actually Sensei. He's, I believe he's Japanese. It's quite interesting. But yeah, no, having that rock solid thing to fall back on is like, okay, here's what you're doing wrong. Here's how you need to fix it, is actually really important. Now, not every team has that. You know, I don't. You know, you have Rogue here, for example, has a Ranger who is again another one of those people who is like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what you need to work on. This is what you need to solve. And it actually started coming into being for Rainbow Six, I think, last season when we saw Penta.
They have an actual playbook.
Yeah, a lot of teams do, yeah.
That is awesome.
I got to get a peek at a couple different teams. I'm not going to name names, but a couple different teams' playbooks, and oh my gosh. There is the level of detail. It is just earth-shattering as compared to the earlier days of Rainbow Six Siege competition. And this is what I was talking about, is like last season when Penta won, and they had the coach constantly, you know, helping them out, giving them information what they needed to solve all the problems in these rounds. When Penta got that win, I think that's what ushered in the age of, okay, you need a coach to play at this level.
I was just surprised at we'll call it a brick and mortar playbook, a physical playbook. I'm used to seeing either a cell phone with a PDF on it or something, but no, having that I think is very handy.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's this round. This was the round that Rogue, honestly, kind of threw away a little bit there because they couldn't get the kill onto Uke with that Jaeger roam. And that was the execution. This round was the execution by BRK. Very simple into the generator room. Great job there.
And ultimately, I mean, BRK came out just swinging on this map.
Oh, the clutch by Young.
Wonderful job here. But yes, this is that clutch by Young. He's going to go for the plant. Finally gets it down, tags 1. And looks re-peeks this side, and we'll get the shots down to Uke.
You saw the Uke went for the fake out. He destroyed the mirror window to try and get Young to look around, but it just did not work out. Slash Hug, great run out there. Unfortunately, he didn't get enough damage onto the sledge, and Eclipse hitting those
that's
bars.
What it was. The scaffolding stopped the bullets from the second kill.
Yeah, hitting those bars, and because of that, so much damage was negated.
Here's Slash trying to get the kill there. He saw Ness try to rotate over, but just didn't get it in time.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I mean, what we're seeing here is a very aggressive Rogue. This is almost the Rogue that we've seen from last year, not the calm and steady Rogue that we saw once King George came to the team.
This should have been the 3-3, but because Zig got a swift triple kill, basically put it onto one player of Rogue, it wasn't. I mean, in this, here you go, final round, those grenades.
I mean, those were just tremendous nades, especially the mindset to go back at it with a second frag grenade. After you already got the kill, you're thinking, okay, we got one, let's get another, and that's exactly what he did.
As long as you maintain denial of that mirror window, it's very easy to plant the diffuser at anywhere.
I mean, so like you said, you need to maintain denial of that mirror window. He got one kill. He said, look, my job is to, like you said,
maintain denial.
Maintain denial, and that's what he's going to do. Because a lot of people say, okay, I got one kill, don't need to go again.
There's no one on mirror window, guys.
Who's going to go back to the mirror window?
Right.
Well, guess what? When you have wonderful teams that have correct placement and able to rotate, backfill a spot, a backfill spot as important as that spot,
and that's
when you need to keep that mind open and say we have to continue to pressure that window.
And that's BRK reading into Rogue, feeling or understanding that, listen, Rogue is a team that understands what needs to be filled, what needs to be done, and we're going to continue. Well, we're going to read it. We're just going to deny it.
So the third and final map is going to be on Chalet. Talking about Chalet, though, again, there are two quote-unquote core bomb sites. We've got our kitchen and trophy. We have our downstairs wine cellar and snowmobile. But the other two bomb sites are starting to make an appearance, especially that bar and gaming room.
Specifically bar and gaming room.
That has been, I want to say, we'll call it the most improved bomb site of this season. I
mean, Master is defended as well, but it's not really all that... it's not really all that success. I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's a bomb site you can go to, but it's still risky. When it comes to bar and gaming room, however, bar and gaming room has a lot of potential. Also, it was specifically with the addition of Mira, it's a lot easier to hold in library for an extended period of time. If the attackers try to come from the master office side of things, they have to face a Mira window. If they try to come from the balcony, well, they can't do that because the defenders can deny the balcony by simply holding a ladder from the window. There's no real way for the attackers to force out library control. And if you can't force out library control on a bar gaming hold, then you don't really have anything to work with because the defenders can deny any plant from there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get underway here with Chalet. Let's take a look at these bomb sites as this is going to be the third and final map of this third quarterfinal today.
And here you see all the bomb sites we were talking about. Most likely going to be played from both of these teams is going to be the kitchen and the basement. We are going to be seeing a basement starting out here from BRK. That's a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, but I think it's actually going to work out for them, given that Rogue has opted not to bring Thermite on the first round. And that's really, honestly, it's a big risk.
Yeah, and the hindrance, the reason why bringing Thermite on a basement hold is so significant is because you are going to have to get in through those walls. And if you do it through Hibana, you are limiting your line of sight.
Yeah, well, you're not only limiting your line of sight, but you're also limiting, like, what you can get into. So, like, with a Hibana, you can't open Snowmobile and the main wall of A and the closet. With a Hibana and a Thermite, you've got all of those open. And once you get all of those open, there's nowhere for BRK to hide. But in this instance, no Thermite, so you could do one open and one visible.
Yeah, the one... If they do try to push Snowmobile Garage, the one strategy that I have seen work is they open up the garage at a head level, keep a Blackbeard out there, not necessarily to go into garage, but to basically clear out garage. You then open up bar, and then you try to push in through back hallway.
So BRK, by the way, has effectively nullified the lack of a Thermite as a bad thing by opening up that closet wall. Now, there's two different, obviously some teams choose to open up the closet, some choose to fully reinforce it. The reason you would open it is because Zig, as you can see, Zig is using the primary shotgun on Echo. He can hold that oh so easily with an Echo drone and a shotgun. He's got everything in his favor. Peeking around that corner with the very, like, even a millisecond of Peeker's advantage is going to allow him to get this simple one-tap kill with that shotgun. So
Rogue looking like they're pushing in very fast. Flash already on the back hallway here.
All the way in the blue in the first 40 seconds.
Oh, too quick though. Nesk already looking around and expecting it because he knows that there's no pressure from outside garage. So where else is he going to look? That back corridor.
Right. And I think, honestly, he probably heard it. Slash did not, he was not very quiet in his push into blue.
Yeah, in all honesty, I would have held off. I would have maintained control of that back hallway and then waited for
there's a Valkyrie cam too. It could have been that one of the defenders was on that cam and ready for that rush. So we are going to have Rogue pushing into the top floor. Once they have top floor control, they can start working on mid-floor control. Once they have mid-floor control, they can start working on taking the bomb site.
Now, maybe what it was, and I don't necessarily think this is exactly it, but maybe what it was, a Slash pushes in very quickly, shows the vulnerabilities, and gets BRK to collapse back onto site, because they are all back on site now. There are no roamers.
There's 3 BRK players inside Connector, and Connector's just been opened, which means they're going to kind of scatter, which means that, they're focused entirely on the A bomb site. If Rogue sees that there are 3 on the A bomb site, they'll just go for B, and it's a really simple attack. You can see Young, he's inside of the master bedroom bathroom. He is denying that rotation through the west stairs.
Now, Eclipse is trying to look for shots there onto Nest, who's by the garbage can. So it looks like Nest actually gets seen inside a Connector, and he will be tagged but not finished off.
So I like this strategy from Rogue. They're actually utilizing the vertical game that we don't see very often utilized on their on the basement hold.
There it is. Wonderful shot by Eclipse. Takes out Nest. B site is all clear now for the time being, and that means we might see a back hallway plant. Looks like some shots coming on. Oh, he actually got him injured up top. Yuke's going to beak and go forward with that as Eclipse is now going to try to come in through Connector. So moves on forward, grabs that shot there onto Avian, and that's going to make it a 3-on-4. 2-on-4 with Young being injured. 20 seconds to go. We are going to see Eclipse now look around. He's going to have to drop here, but it is instantly down in the process. Last minute alive is going to be King George in a 1-on-3. He falls to the same fate as Yuke picks up a double K.
That round was exclusively Yuke, I have to be honest. And I have to tell you, it is not often you see Young mistake his role or mess up his role. Young's role there was very simple. What we saw Renegade trying to do, Rogue trying to do, was simply maintain control of the top 2 floors, open up the floor above the defenders, and try to get some vertical kills. Very simple, right? We don't see it happen often because you have to actually take control of those top 2 floors, which is hard on Chalet. But once you have it and you hold it, it's very simple to use that vertical game. Because Young messed up on his hold of the West Lobby stairs and you got that kill, it was very simple for then the rest of BRK to start flooding up through the West Lobby stairs and start getting those flanks. And yeah, I have to say, it is just so rare that Young specifically doesn't, lock out his role. He's one of the most consistent players in the North American scene.
Yeah, and I remember interviewing King George earlier on this season. He had mentioned that Young was brought onto the team not only for his sense of stability and his dependableness, but the dependableness, but the fact that he plays on defense on site. He knows how to hold an angle, and he knows how not to get tired or get distracted when looking at an angle. And that's exactly what he was doing there on the attack side.
He's insanely focused, and I think it was must have been just a very minor mistake that anyone could make that resulted in the loss of that West Lobby hold. So now Rogue at the round deficit here on this map number 3. By the way, Chalet, this is the decider map. Whoever wins here moves on to the next bracket. Whoever loses, unfortunately, goes home. So BRK with that early lead, it's 1 round, sure, but in this instance, with this amount of pressure, it means the world. They are going to be attacking onto a trophy hold, I believe, from Rogue. To start things off, they're going to go for that top floor control. This is very common. Rogue not going to be holding anything upstairs. A little bit different. Not very common.
This is going to be a 4-1 offsite. We've got one man offsite. That's going to be King George right in the cubby of the gaming room.
Yeah, and this is an interesting roam. I think because the reason he's doing it is because he's got those mute jammers, which means the drones are likely not going to spot him. They're probably surrounding his position, which means he might be able to get just 1 or 2 sneaky kills.
He just needs to keep an eye on the top of the stairs here. One, just waiting for this peek. Oh, it doesn't see him.
No!
Oh!
He gave away his position there by shooting that drone, and as a result, the incognito is lost.
Yep, and now Julio's going to spot him as well. One getting the call. Hey, he's inside gaming room. Now he is stuck. Going to take a couple bullets, and he is collapsed upon and taken out of the ground.
That drone didn't see him if he had just waited patiently. Obviously, hindsight 2020, reactions are reactions, and honest, we probably all would have made that mistake. Now, as BRK establishes control over the top floor and the south side of the building, they are looking very strong here on Chalet. Now, I thought that this map might favor Rogue, but it seems like BRK has Rogue's number. A great execution so far.
For the time being, now the fuse charges are going to go out, and that's going to cause a little bit of chaos. Julio is topside. It looks like master bedroom bathroom area.
Oh, the gas grenades might be able to stall out this push from BRK, put it into the last couple 10 seconds of the round.
Now, this is necessarily where you want Ness to toss in his flashbang.
Oh, no!
Zig looking it up through, tag slash, and Eclipse down a 5-on-2.
You know what's not supposed to be useful for the attackers, really? That kitchen window, but Zig making it happen.
Now there are 25 seconds. Last gas grenade gets used. Shotgun goes down. Shotgun gets red. Another. That's going to be Nesk and 1. Can he get another? He gets 3. Young with a triple kill there, taking out Yuke as well. Now a 2-on-2. Julio drops. Young gets a 4K. Can he get the ace here? here. He needs one more kill. He spotted Zig inside a trophy. He's going to call it on out. There are 5 seconds to go. Can he tag it? Let him get it, Avian. We'll have to see. There are 2 seconds left. He's going to go for it. He actually got it right there. Oh, no, that was Avian. Almost got the ace, but the kill still lands, and that is going to be a victory here for round number 2.
So we were talking about Young and his consistent play and how he's a rock, and if you give him a role, he will fulfill said role. Yeah, so that's Young in a nutshell. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call, I want to call that an ace because he absolutely got that last kill if Avian hadn't clicked mouse 1.
Did he kill Avian as well? It looked like Avian went down.
Avian got the kill. Young didn't kill Avian, but Young would have gotten that ace. I have to call that an honorary ace, and overall a round salvage by Young, absolutely stepping up for his team in the moment that it mattered the most.
5-on-2.
Yeah, turned into a 2-on-1.
I mean, I got flashbacks of playing Ducks and Vertical back in the day.
Yeah, remember
Orbit, whatever it was.
It was the opposite direction. It was a 2v5, and it was on Canal, and the same team, Rogue, that was named something different back then, lost that 2v5, or well, they were the ones in the 5-man, to Playing Ducks in the semifinals of Season 3, I believe it was. Or was it the Invitational?
No, it was Season 3.
It was Season 3. Yeah, because they made it to the finals of the Invitational. But yeah, no, great job there by Young, and now they are going to be attacking onto, look at that, ladies and gentlemen, a bar gaming room defense from BRK. We talked about how this
spotting some bittersweet here.
We talked about how this is much more viable with the strats that have been established on this bomb site. The main focus is just holding control over Library, but Valkyrie going to get lit up there by, I believe that was Slash. He's actually going to make it away, though, with his life, which is very important. And again, so the main focus here for the defenders and the attackers is control of Library. If you have control of Library, you have control over both the bomb sites from above, and it's really easy to establish that control with a couple holes here and there. So if the attackers can take that Library, then they will likely win the round. Now the problem is it's not very easy to get Library. See this balcony? Rappel up onto the balcony, you're saying, nope, you can't do that. The only way to get onto the balcony as an attacker...
All the ADSs are up there.
Yeah.
Missed frag grenade too, unfortunately.
The only way to get onto that balcony as an attacker is to go up this tiny little ladder, and you could deny that from inside Library. So it's really a very complicated prospect.
Yeah, there are only 2 spots to rappel on this map, and that is the master bedroom balcony and the office on the south end of the map, or east end of the map balcony. West end?
You mean the main lobby balcony on the east side? Yeah, the main lobby balcony
over fireplace.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the, yeah.
Oh, Net's going to go for an aggressive peek. Tags one, but cannot get back in time. King George there to pick up the refrag. His Avian also got a kill into Julio earlier.
Now, Rogue might not know this, but that is complete Library control lost for BRK. If they go up the ladder right now, they will have that vertical presence.
I think he's going to assume that Slash looking like he might want to go over to that ladder. No, you peeking on out of the kitchen lobby, grabs that kill into Slash, takes him down. Now a 3-on-2. Still over 60 seconds to go. King George with 2 shields at his arsenal.
West Lobby, another one of those ways you can stop somebody from getting up on that ladder. And the Library control is back into BRK's hands because Rogue just didn't capitalize on their opportunity. They might not have known they had it.
Ooh, and looks as though King George looking down will be picked off from above. Avian not able to get a kill as he tries to throw in a flashbang. Yuke is there. We're going to BRK secure round number 3. And they go up 2-1 at the moment.
So, for those of you wondering, oh my gosh, how did Rogue lose an attack onto Bar Gaming Room? Isn't that a terrible bomb site?
No.
In the current meta, Bar Gaming Room is actually, I think, one of the most successful bomb sites on Chalet.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the win-loss ratio of per bomb site.
Well, exclusively when the defenders execute properly, because there are ways to mess up Bar Gaming Room. But when the defenders know how to execute, like what we just saw BRK do on that hold, then abso-freaking-lutely, it's a fantastic bomb site. The main thing that was there that I saw from BRK that was a little bit different than what other teams have done in the past is all 3 Jaeger devices on that main window to deny the grenades. Because you saw what Rogue was trying to do to counter that Library hold was just throw a bunch of flashbangs, throw a bunch of grenades, and kill the Jaeger.
So I guess one question that viewers at home might be asking is, why not just throw in a Hibana to open up the window, the wall facing fireplace, right next to Slash? The right side of Slash has 2 walls that face into the bar. Why not open that up?
From the main lobby, are you saying?
Yeah, from main lobby.
Yeah.
Why not open that up, get the mirror off of that window, or whoever was sitting on that window,
you can
then you can hold that.
You can absolutely do that, but obviously Rogue was not expecting to try and to have to mix up their strategy, and that is an option. Of course, you're opening yourself up to a lot of runouts. When you're underneath that balcony, that main lobby balcony, you put yourself at risk. If any of the defenders are playing inside of office, they have a complete advantage over you.
All right, so the first Twitch drone successfully got off 1 bandit charge, and that's all that was needed as Zig will get garage opened up successfully. But he's not going to force Avian off. Avian's going to play this very aggressively here as well with Slash. There he goes, now hopping on out towards Connector. We are going to have a 4-1 split as King George on the top of Master Bedroom.
King George has been going for those deep roams with Mute a lot lately on this map, and it has thus far been unsuccessful. He is actually going to be spotted out and pincered now, despite having his Mute jammers. I think it's honestly, it's the sort of thing is like, you see a Mute jammer these days and you know, okay, somebody's roaming around that. Well, you got to expect it as an attacker.
Now he will fall on through into Trophy, and because he gave away his position successfully and the Mute jammer stood, he will be able to get away for the time being. Because right now, I don't think, oh no, Eclipse is actually there on the stairs looking on up. 1:30 to go. We are going to have BRK try to push their way in from Fireplace. Nesk realizing no more barbed wire spot. Slash goes for a quick kill. Now peeks on up and goes looking in towards the kitchen, where King George might get a little bit over aggressive.
Slash kind of got slashed on. That's what you expect to see from Slash, not against Slash, and that aggression from Nesk is going to give BRK a slight advantage in this round. And if they manage to win this, this is going to be 3-1. That's stretching the lead, and this is the 3rd map of the series. This is make it or break it, ladies and gentlemen.
That is the 2nd Twitch drone down for the count, as 1 is now going to have to push down the back stairwell. Raptor sets the Claymore down for cover. 55 seconds to go on the board. Round number 4 underway. And we're going to have to see how this just goes. Now, it looks as though we still have fuse charges in the mix. He's going to have to get into position to plan them down. The diffuser is in his hands. So with 2 cluster charges go, that's going to be 1 tossed on out, trying to cause a little bit of chaos. They are going to go for a back hallway push. He actually grabs that cluster charge going to Eclipse. Avian Young will fall by 1 and Yuke. Now this is all going to be a 1-on-4, 1-on-5, and Yuke picks it on up. BRK E-Sports now leading 3-1.
This looks terrible for Rogue as BRK stretches their lead ever more. This is the moment where they need to step up, say we can do this, and force out these round wins, or they're going to get eliminated in the first bracket, which is obviously after Excellence getting eliminated earlier in today. That is not what you want as a North American team.
That would leave Elevate to hold that NA torch on through to tomorrow's games if Rogue cannot secure it.
And just 1 team, just Elevate of 3. You know, that'd be pretty bad for North America. Also, you know, high hopes for Rogue going into this matchup, but at the same time, amazing job by BRK. You have to hand it to them. Plus, they are carrying their own torch. And
they are.
They are definitely making their country proud, I'm sure.
They're trying to show that right now, this is not a fluke of what happened last season.
Oh, absolutely
They're not trying to say, hey, we got to the grand finals and lost it by a couple rounds.
Right.
We deserve to be here, and that is what BRK is making this statement.
Absolutely freaking do, too. Some really solid play coming up in this match. They are going to be going, ladies and gentlemen, onto the basement hold yet again. We'll see exactly how Rogue chooses to handle this. Now, in this time, they have brought Thermite to the field, and this is probably going to aid them quite a lot on this take, as they are going to start things off, opening up that snowmobile garage. Now, you don't necessarily need to push in through the snowmobile garage as soon as you get it open. The main goal of getting it open really is just to deny a ton of angles and rotation to the defenders. It cuts off a pretty big port, the entire B-bomb site, except for the bottom of stairs. It cuts off all of that. So it's a pretty big move for the attackers to get that open, and as easily as they did, with still plenty of time to go, almost no utility wasted, that's also very important.
Yeah, it looks as though we are going to see a more conservative BRK Esports hold here, because there are no roamers, no one even on the main floor. They are all downstairs, and again, I foresee Young going back up to his spot, holding the flank as the push from Rogue, looking like it might be inside of the wine cellar.
Ooh, Uke has put himself by the fridge inside of Wine Cellar Hall. It's a very dangerous position to play. It's extremely risky. If the attackers get a whiff of this, then they are going to collapse on him, and he will be rendered useless in this round.
High risk, high reward is what Uke is going for, and he will get droned out here behind, I want to say.
To be completely honest.
No, he doesn't. Eclipse actually just moving on forward. There goes. Now, Uke actually navigated back from the fridge into the garage.
That was almost detrimental for the attackers, but it still very well could be. He's basically just going to wait until the attack starts to push into the main bomb site, and rightfully so.
Now, there's a lot of destruction going on down here inside of the wine cellar. Everything is committed here. C4 comes on out from below. One getting the kill there on the slash as Young falls by Nesk. A 5-on-3 now, 5-on-2 with a nice knife in the back by Uke there on King George. It's all to Eclipse and Avian to try to keep this from going to match point. And we are going to have Uke still stay downstairs, looking like Eclipse and Uke going to come in here. Nice Yokai. However, the kill from Eclipse, wonderful job. He still has a line of sight there onto the door. There's not going to be a push. That is the third Yokai disorientation. And therefore, he's going to have to recharge for a little bit. They're going to have to get away. Diffuser is in the back of garage. 50 seconds to go. They have plenty of time, but not necessarily the man count or the firepower and utilities. BRK Esports leads 4-2 in man count at the moment. Looks as though the Echo has been spotted out inside of the wine closet, as well as, I believe that was Julio. There is Zig, nice job there. That's going to be a C4 kill. He picks up a double kill. Now BRK Esports leads 4-1. It is match point, it is series point, and then it might be semi-finals point here.
Yeah, absolutely. If BRK can win one more round. And on Chalet, they certainly seem like the dominant team. Rogue struggling quite a lot here. Now we talked about, I mean, it was touched on by Troy earlier, a Canadian, that you know, Rogue has been through a bumpy path. You know, they had a roster, they had a organization change recently, coming from VG turning into a Rogue, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's just an organization. What does that really matter? And it actually is pretty bad because VG was going to be moving them out to a gaming house, doing all this other stuff. So a lot of the players on Rogue kind of uprooted their lives for a little bit, and they went a tiny bit of turmoil, and they had to deal with that right before the LAN. So they lost a lot. They lost a lot of practice time, like a crazy amount of practice time. And you know, that's not obviously defense enough to lose that match, but it is something that they got to be struggling with right now.
So here we have it again, match point, ladies and gentlemen, in favor of the first Latin American scene here, or first Latin American team here today, BRK Esports up against Rogue. We are in the third and final map, match point, series point, semifinal point. Those who win today play tomorrow.
Rogue is going to be going on to a defense of the kitchen trophy. Very conservative. You could see they have a copious amount of barbed wire established in the dining room, which is where they're expecting the BRK take to come from. Now, obviously, the one single round that Rogue has won on Chalet was basically all Young, and it was because he held successfully the main lobby push with his smoke, shotgun, and SMG-11. So, you know, this is, hopefully they could repeat that maybe one more time and get a second round onto the board and start to actually make that comeback happen. Because if any team's going to come back from this position, it's going to be Rogue. Again, we talked about this before. Rogue's the sort of team that they lose the first couple rounds in most maps. And they start to learn how the enemy team plays, and they can come back from anything. But will they? That is the question. As BRK start to push their way into the top floor, get that vertical dominance, they're going to open up the drop downs and start to get the information necessary to allow Julio to use his fuse charges efficiently.
Yeah, so he's going to get over into position here. Claymore's already at the top of the kitchen stairs. C4 from Slash lands onto Zig, blows him on up from underneath. Wonderful toss.
Yeah, when the pressure's mounting and you get that C4 kill, it means so much. Now a 5v4, I guarantee you everyone's patting Slash's back right now in comms.
They need to get more kills, though. You do have King George roaming underneath.
Oh, no.
One actually gets the kill, and that, unfortunately, will be the downfall of one. Now a 5-on-3 is going to persist with Julio trying to get some Claymore kills down, or some cluster charges. That's actually really good. Gets rid of all the barbed wire in there and removes Young from play.
Probably one of the best cluster charges we've seen in a long time. And then Yuke with another kill onto Slash Dog through the kitchen window. Rogue has just not been paying enough attention to this kitchen window. It's been used against them so often in this match.
Now, Nesk does have the mobility to move in forward, but he's got to be careful because King George was last spotted down there. He's not going to move in forward. He needs to look to the left. Spot Julio gets the kill down as Eclipse also takes down Nesk. Now, that's all up to Yuke here in a 3-on-1. Can he get this clutch? Right now, he's just trying to get his bearings as he's moving in towards the fireplace and then in towards dining. He's got a long avenue. He's holding onto that diffuser, but Eclipse will get this kill as he peeks on up. Swings on over, and there's going to be Avian with the crossfire. Wait, that Rogue is not out of it just yet. It's now 4-2.
And the possibility of a comeback becomes ever more present here for Rogue. But I have to say, that really just comes down to an excellent roam game there from King George. Now, in the past, or throughout this entire map, we've seen King George try to use that mute roam and try to deep roam using, trying to deny the drone coverage and all that stuff, and get a couple kills, maybe deny the push into the bomb site. And he's been wholly unsuccessful up until now. So if he can keep that going, if he can keep his mute roam on the successful side of things, then that's great. That will win them more rounds. But to get there, they have to still win this next attack round, which they have been so far unsuccessful in doing.
Other than a couple missed bullets by one onto King George, I think the fundamental reason King George came out of that one as a victor was the fact that it was not a pinch. It was a one-on-one fight. He wasn't collapsed by multiple angles. And that is what BRK E-Sports has done in the past. It's what they need to continue to do to get King George out of that whatever spot he's in.
And I'm guessing they absolutely will moving forward. Now, BRK defending the kitchen trophy. Zig saying no, you can't come in one.
Denied.
They only have to hold this down. And again, they've been completely successful in defense so far in this map. They haven't lost one defensive round. So if they continue that, then it's all over for Rogue. Rogue has really got to step it up here. How will they handle this attack? That is the big question. It's likely they're going to go for a very standard top floor take. Deny. Oh, this is dangerous from Slash.
He was already partially up, and he's going to have to just...
He made it up just in time.
You have to man up and get up the ladder, which he successfully did do. However, Yuke was called out.
If he had shift W to that ladder, he would be dead right now.
Oh, and right there, Slash going to give away that there is someone up on top of the balcony. Could have baited that out a little bit better, I feel like, but he will persist on some bullets here towards Library, where we do have Yuke.
That drone being destroyed from Avian means that the information gathering is probably going to stop for Rogue on the terms of Library.
That was 3 out of the 10 drones he got down.
Yeah, despite Yuke actually falling off of Library, Rogue's not going to know that for a long time in all likelihood, which means this is going to be a very stalled out attack from Rogue, at least towards the Library side of things. Here's King George's drone, now checking out Library. That's going to give them the necessary information.
Keeping an eye here, we are going to get the kitchen drop hatch opened up. There's not going to be C4 tossed up just yet, which is as though Zig wasn't necessarily in position to spot that out. And there's going to be a little engagement. Slash comes out on top, gets the kill there onto Yuke as he hops on over the balcony, I believe that was, and that's going to turn into a 5-on-4 fireplace, now in control of Rogue.
You could tell Slash was surprised by that mute sitting in that bush. Caught him a little bit off guard. I honestly expected Yuke to win that fight and then put Rogue in the bad position. We do have still Nesk roaming down in the basement, and that could be the saving grace for BRK as they lose another player in Julio.
So we have 1:10 to go. Like you said, there's still one roamer downstairs. That's going to be one inside of a big garage. My guess is that there's Valkyrie cameras inside a trophy. He's going to try to C4 from underneath, but it's a 5-on-1 now. And unfortunately here, he was actually inside a trophy the whole time. Goes for the shots there on the Slash. Wall gets opened up, and BRK tossing out one C4, misses the target, and he will get pinched. Finished down, and Rogue now on this comeback. It is 4-3. One more round, and we go to overtime.
Rogue, again, if anyone can do it, Rogue can do it. They are the comeback squad in terms of the North American scene. This is what we've seen. We've seen this a couple times from them in the past. But there's still one more chance for BRK to deny this outright, to get this final win, put it on 5-3, and walk away, pushing themselves into the semifinals. And most importantly, Rogue is going to have to defend Wine Cellar Snowmobile Garage, which they have been wholly unsuccessful in doing so far. They've had a pretty bad run of this hold so far, and if they can't give us something new, show us some innovation on this defense, then it's almost certainly going to be a BRK map.
I mean, is this one of those times where you pull out that pocket strat for top floor, or pull out that pocket strat for bar and gaming, or do you go and try to continue to pursue this downstairs bomb site?
From what I've seen, it doesn't. I don't think Rogue really has that pocket strat we're talking about. You know, I don't think they're. I don't think they're. I mean, maybe they know how to defend a gaming bar defense. Of course, they know how to defend that, but it's something they. From what I can tell here, they probably haven't coordinated because they haven't tried it yet. They would have tried it sooner, I feel, if they had it down. I don't know if they would use it now, but they would have used it when it wasn't match point.
So here we are now. Attack phase has begun on round number 8. If BRK again can win this round, they win this series. They'll go into the semifinals tomorrow. If not, if Rogue can secure this defensive hold, we will head into overtime to continue another set of 3 rounds.
And if we get to overtime, it'll be the first team to 6 rounds, of course, that will win the map and match overall. So we have a very aggressive roam game coming out from Rogue inside of, well, not inside, really just kind of above in towards the library and the gaming room, which is dangerous, but it could be extremely beneficial for them.
Eclipse was spotted out there, but he ended up droning or falling through the drop hatch. Gets spotted out yet again, and I think he might try to rotate upstairs or down. We'll have to see. He will opt to go downstairs back on site and leave, I believe that is King George, the only roamer around, to be on the top side by himself. It's going to be over half the round still to go, 5 on 5. Not too much action has occurred other than just trying to clear out portions and gain cover, gain some ground for the attackers. We did see Slash inside of the dining hall. Looks as though Nesk, though, going to hold onto this corridor, looking for the shots there on a King George.
Both of these teams playing extremely safe.
He goes for a wonderful kill there by King George, peeking out of the office. Now there are going to be some blind fire shots coming in from the master bedroom balcony towards King George.
Oh,
He's just going to fall and get back onto site here. This is actually wonderful, risky move, though.
Yeah, this is actually the smart play here. BRK 100% would have collapsed upon him if he had stayed any longer, and him falling back into the bomb site is going to mean that he can get reset by his teammate, have 50 HP, and actually still be of use in this round.
Now 60 seconds left to go in the round here. BRK down a Blackbeard, but not down and out for the count just yet. Julia will start needing to get those cluster charges in position. Young's going to hold down the back corridor as Avian will hold down Fireplace stairs, where we see Nesk at the moment. He's going to drone this out. Avian, though, is, I think, in the upper hand of this position.
Nesk is going to be the sort of the playmaker in this situation. Zig actually is going to take out Slashug, but Nesk is going to be the one to take out Young whenever Young decides to rotate back into the bomb site.
It looks as though Young going to try to gas out the back stairs, and he knows he cannot rotate all the way back as Nesk is here. More bullets flying his way. And this means with 20 seconds to go, it is going to be a brawl. Because right now it's a 4-on-4. Cluster charge is going down. Avian trying to skedaddle on up, but he gets blown up by the cluster charge by Julio. Zig also getting King George down at 4-on-2 now. Plant has not gone down. 10 seconds to go. Young picked up one. Can he get another? No. Last man alive is going to be Eclipse. He's got to hold it here. Grabs one. That's also Diffuser down. 2 seconds to go, but he misses it. It's one from BRK E-Sports, able to take this round. They're going to be in the semifinals tomorrow.
And great job there from BRK, an excellent execution down into the basement. And unfortunately, Rogue unable to adapt on Chalet, not showing us any serious changes on that last round of their basement hold.
What a showing here by BRK E-Sports. Not only are they going